I want to minimize the chances of having vacancy because right now... Hey there, Lincoln here from bullacademy.org. Today I want to talk to you about real estate and how my duplex in New York City brings in over $63,000 each year and why I don't raise the rent on my tenants. So as I stated, I have a duplex in New York City. I bought it in 2021 when interest rates were super low. Got it for below 3% on my mortgage, 3% interest rates. And I plan to hold it indefinitely. I don't want to get taxed on sale, so I'm going to hold it and just collect rent. And so this house, because of the duplex, I get 2 tenants paying me every month, and with that money, I take it and pay off my mortgage. And the beauty of having a duplex is that one unit can pay off the entire mortgage, and the other unit can completely be profit. And so that's the case of my duplex. My duplex in New York City, which is one of the best markets for real estate, brings in over $63,000 each year and also is profitable. The way it does that is that the first unit, which is a smaller unit, is a 1-bedroom, and that pays off about half the mortgage, a little bit over half the mortgage. And the second unit is a 3-bed, 2-bath apartment that brings in the entire mortgage and more. So the second unit pays off the entire mortgage, and the first unit pays off some of the utility costs and other expenses, and of course some savings for emergencies, and then a bunch of profit on top of that. So all of that adds up to $63,000 in revenue every year and about $13,000 in profit every year. That's pretty nice because usually when you buy real estate, you're hoping that you get only a couple $100s per month in profit, if any at all. Most people don't actually make any profit on their real estate because they weren't fortunate enough to get it at the super low interest rates that I was able to get it at. Given all of that income, all of that revenue and those profits, I have no reason to try to squeeze out more than I have to. I have 2 great tenants. One is on a government program. The other is a high earner, and she pays off her rent early every month, which is wonderful for me as a landlord because I don't have to worry about her too much. So I don't have much of an incentive to then go and try to kick them out or encourage them to leave by trying to raise rent incredibly high or at all. So my approach to being a landlord is I don't want too much stress. I don't want to have to always be fighting with my tenants or trying to chase down rent or trying to haggle for more money. I just want to have someone who respects my property, enjoys living there, and pays me in a timely manner. And that's pretty much it. As long as I get paid every month, as long as the house is not broken down, and as long as I don't get any complaints from the government or neighbors, all is well. I collect my rent every month, and I'm on my way. I don't have to deal with any drama. So instead of trying to raise rent by 5% every year and then tell my tenant, hey, I'm going to raise rent on you, so you got to go ahead and do your finances and try to make sure that that fits in with your goals for next year and that you will have enough money coming in to cover this new expense. I'd rather just everyone rest easy, sleep well. You keep paying me the same amount you pay me this year, and I won't bother you as long as you, again, respect my property and pay me on time. I don't have to try to raise it 5%, 10%, even 1% because I want to just minimize the chances of that tenant leaving. I want to minimize the chances of having vacancy because right now, if a tenant is paying me $2,000 a month and they leave for whatever reason, I then have to cover that rent for multiple months, probably. In the best case, at least a month to fix it up and then find another tenant to move in. That month costs me $2,000. If I'm not fortunate and I have to wait 2 months, that's $4,000 out of my pocket, or at least not in profit that I would have gotten if I had just kept the rent the same and not encouraged a tenant to leave. So the opportunity cost of 5%, of gaining 5% in revenue is losing 100% in revenue. That's not a good trade to me. So I want to just keep my 100% of revenues and not try to get to another 5% and risk having to spend $2,000, $4,000, maybe even $6,000 if it's 3 months trying to find another tenant who is as good as my current tenant, because I don't want to just find any tenant. I want to find a good tenant. So my goal is to keep the tenant I currently have that is a good tenant, and as long as I am making good money, I don't need to go try to squeeze out a little bit more juice in this house. What I do instead is I collect my profit, I save it, and eventually go and buy another house with a new mortgage, get new tenants who are also good, and have them pay off the mortgage. And also don't raise the rent on them, because as long as they stay, they are paying off my mortgage for me and some profit on top, which will allow me to improve the property and then also go and get another house, a third house, and over. So that's my approach to being a landlord. I think it's the best approach because it works out for everyone. Everyone wins. The tenant doesn't have to stress about the chance of their rent going up $500 or $200 next year. So they can rest easy. They can appreciate that I'm a good landlord. All my tenants love me because I don't stress them out. It's very easy going. It's been a couple years now. This is the 3rd year my tenant is renewing their lease for that first unit. In the 2nd year, my tenant in the 2nd unit is renewing their lease. So my tenants are happy. I'm making good money. They have a nice place to live because I spent lots of time and money and just effort in making that place much better for them to live in after I bought it. I put lots of renovations into it, and of course it cost me tens of thousands of dollars, maybe even $60,000, $80,000 in aggregate, but I'm making that back in revenue every year, and in 5, maybe even 6 years, I make it all back in profit, so that I'll break even at that point. And then from there, the next 20, 30 years, it's all profit from there. And I get the appreciation on top because New York City real estate appreciates by 6% each year. So if I just hold on to that house, after 10 years, I'm making just pure profit, 20 years, more profit, 30 years, more profit, and it's fully paid off. Then now this property that's a duplex in New York City that is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even $1 million, depending on how I keep the house, keep up the property and improve it. That's just wealth. That's how you build wealth over the long term, and not by squeezing your tenants. So be a good landlord. Don't be a slumlord. Take care of your property. Take care of your tenants. They will take care of you. That's all I have to say for now. I appreciate you listening. This was a short one, but if you're interested in more on real estate and how I approach it and how I'm planning on building wealth through investing in real estate in the United States and abroad, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment your thoughts, and tell me what you would like me to cover next. I plan on doing more videos on real estate, so I hope you enjoy this. That's all for now. I'm Lincoln with bullacademy.org. Thank you again, and have a great day.